What's going on, everybody? And we are logging on to episode 152 of the podcast, and we're actually going solo dolo this episode. That's right. As your host, Frank McKnight, I am speaking to you, the audience, and no one else. I don't have my co-host Luke or any other guest with me tonight. And it just so happens to be about a year apart from the last solo episode I did. So we accidentally started to do this thing where I do solo episodes. So this would make it a third annual solo podcast. And I think we're going to keep it that way. I think we'll do a fourth annual solo podcast, later on next year as well, hopefully around the same time. And I think it's just a good breather on giving you guys updates of the YouTube channel, along with just things I want to talk about. So, I mean, a little backstory on how this episode happened. Me and Luke were supposed to film an episode tonight, but he ended up getting sick. We were going to do our top 5 favorite fast food restaurants, which would have been an interesting one. We're slowly turning into a foodie podcast more than a movie podcast. The last episode Luke was on was that food bracket, which was tons of fun. Big props to him for making that idea. And we got a lot of fan and viewer interaction with that through our Instagram and other social media platforms. So that was great. But anyway, we're starting to become more of a foodie program now as we're doing our fast food restaurants next. Let me give you a basis on what's going to go down this episode. I'm basically going to give you guys a bunch of YouTube channel updates of what I've been working on, what I've been planning, and how scheduling is working with all these projects. And then we're going to go into a movie news roundup and TV show news roundup, which is something we used to do on the podcast, but we really haven't done it as of recent at all. The news roundups were things that we did really in the very beginning of the podcast. You know, this podcast has definitely, I don't even want to say evolved. It's just starting to become a hybrid of several different topics, of basically every topic, which I love. There's nothing wrong with that. But, just remember, we started as a movie podcast, and we would do these news roundups, because we used to also be a weekly podcast as well, where we would bring up the news, the movie news and TV news of the week, and discuss them. And that's basically what we're going to do tonight for the first time in a very long time. So those are really only the two things we're going to talk about this episode. I hope I'm not going to bore you to death just being alone. And I hope you're interested in what I got to say. So let's just get right into it. All right. As far as the YouTube channel updates, I basically made notes covering everything that I've either done in the past or working on right now. So let's start off with what we're filming now, logging on the podcast. We're going to stick with the 2 episodes a month for the rest of this year. This is a type of schedule that will change with all things considered. Depending on work schedules with me and Luke, what's going on in both me and Luke's lives at the current moment in time. It's going to be like a jumping gun where we just sporadically decide. I was like, all right, I think we got time right now over these next couple of months to do an episode per week. And then when things start picking up in our lives, it'll be like, all right, we got to back up again and go to 2 episodes a month. I don't think it'll ever get less than 2 episodes a month. I'll say that first and foremost. But also, if we ever have the chance to do an episode a week, we're going to do it. We love doing this and everything like that. So that's one thing about logging on. The other thing is to give you a little hindsight of what the rest of the year has in store. We're mainly focusing this year based on the schedule for the rest of the year. We're basically focusing more on top fives and taste testings. As far as spotlight interviews go, I'll be honest with you, we don't have a single spotlight interview planned for this whole year. But that could change. That could very much change as time goes on through the rest of the year. We're still pretty early into 2024. But no spotlight interviews are scheduled as of right now. It's all primarily top fives and taste testings. I will say, though, we have certain type of interview-based episodes coming out. For instance, we did that episode with Beth English, and I called it A Conversation with Beth English. I'm planning on making that its own little sub-series of Loggin On, where it starts with a conversation with, and it'll basically be with past teachers of mine. And as of right now, we have 2 of those conversations planned with 2 other high school teachers from Freehold Township High School. I'm not going to say who they are yet, but that's just a little tease of who I have in store to come on the pod. I talked to them already about it to see if they're interested, and they are. And we have a date set, a tentative date set for right now when we're going to film those and release them. But yeah, I mean, I love the spotlight interviews. We just, there were a couple heavy hitters that we've been trying to get on. Hasn't been working out as of recent just because of scheduling conflicts. But I think at the end of the day, we will get them done. I just don't know if it'll be this year. But all right, that's all I had for Loggin On. All right, this is a big one. This is one that's currently being worked on. It's very important to me, and I'm very excited about it. So that's For Rank Gaming, Season 5. The 5th and final season. Filming officially started for the final season on Friday, March 15th of this year. That's about 2 or 3 weeks ago now at this point. Probably 2 weeks ago. It's been going great so far. Season 4, which was more of a rushed season, there's a big difference with the production of this season. We are actually way ahead of schedule, starting this early before it gets released. And with that said, it gets the premiere episode 41, comes out on Friday, June 7th. 2024. So we have tons of time to film everything, edit everything. If we want to change things up, we have the time and freedom to do it. So that's all great. We have filmed 2 gameplays so far with some old and new guests of the series. The episode filming has been great. And really have been having a lot of fun with it. I'll say this now, I haven't said this yet about this season. It's a throwback season. We're making this final season special as far as the games we play, and it's a big nostalgia hitting factor with it that I think is making it so great as far as the games we play. Also, we are bringing back every type of segment that we've had in the past seasons of Frank Gaming into this season. If you recall back in Frank Gaming Season 2, that was the last time we did history lessons, a little background on the game I'm playing. That was the last time we did that. Season 3 and 4 didn't do that. So we're bringing the history lessons back, but also a big main focus of the production of this season is doing the skits at the beginning of the episode before the actual gameplay happens. And there's big planning going on with them. It's not just going to be me and the skits. We're having other people involved with those as well, which is going to be a first for Frank Gaming. And yeah, we're going full throttle with this production. This show, this small YouTube series started back in the COVID days, and we've released a season of 10 episodes every year since then. But I think it's time for it to end to focus on other projects. So with this ending, I just know personally that we got to go out with a bang. And as of right now, that is what we're doing. It's coming out very well so far. So like I said, the season premieres on June 7th. We're going to have the poster, which has already been created. It's and I love the poster. The poster is going to be released on May 30th. And then the trailer for this season is being released the next day on Friday, May 31st, a week before from the actual show premiering. It's going great. I'm so excited for you guys to see it. And especially for people my age that are going to watch it, they're going to be like, wow, like, I got to figure out a way to pick up this game because it just brings up childhood memories. That's really what it comes down to. All right, next up on the list of YouTube channel updates, we got Frank Reactions. We are going to continue dropping reaction videos on a sporadic basis throughout this year. So I guess you could say the series has basically been green lit for the rest of this year. Yeah, I mean, I think I said this the last solo episode I did, but I've been keeping my promise. It's what I've been doing, and we're going to continue doing it. I'm just going to be reacting to the things that I'm interested in. Like, I mean, you have these reactors out there. This was actually a pet peeve of mine in the Pet Peeve podcast we did, of reactors reacting to things that you could almost tell that they're not really into this series or movie or video game or whatever it is. They're making the reaction video just because it's a popular franchise. And I'm staying away from that. I want to be truthful to the channel and to the viewers and to myself when it comes to that stuff. So that is the mentality towards Frank Reactions, and we're going to continue doing that. And I have a lot of fun filming those too. If you guys noticed in more recent reactions of this year, I started reacting to some of the YouTube comments from the trailers that I watch. That's a fun thing to do. I'm going to continue to do that as well as like a new little factor to it. As far as reacting to actual full-length movies and TV shows, that's where it gets a little bit tricky for me. I don't have a Patreon yet where you could basically show the whole movie and get your reactions of it. Meanwhile, YouTube, you kind of have to cut bits and pieces of the movie or TV show before you get copyrighted. That's kind of how it works. Yeah, when it comes to full-length videos of movies and TV shows, I'll either go the route of Patreon or maybe even a live stream of some sort to do that. But on YouTube, it's hard. I don't even want to waste the time in doing that necessarily. So, yeah. What else do I have for Frank Reactions? Something else different that I would like to do with the reaction series is start having other people on with me, on the episode with me, reacting to the thing that I enjoy, but more importantly, what they enjoy too. I wouldn't bring a guest on to react to a trailer that they know nothing about or have no idea about. It would be something they would also be interested in, and we tested that one time with my brother Tommy. It's the very first reaction where I had someone else on with me reacting to something, and it was that Universal Studios Florida park, Epic Universe or something it was called, and he's a huge theme park fan, and he was even my guest for the Top 5 Amusement Parks podcast. But yeah, that's more stuff I would like to do. I think it just makes it more interesting. All right, what else do we got here? Wow, I had a lot for... Oh, no, I didn't. All right. Next up, Vloggin' On. Vloggin' On is the latest and newest series of the channel. It's a vlog-based series. We've released 2 episodes so far. One was my Halloween party of last year, and the other one was when my beard was hideous, and I decided to shave it off in steps of different styles, which was a lot of fun. Anyway, I promised that I would have at least 1 new episode per month of that, and that's been hard to keep up with as of recently, just because of work, as well as, you know, we're in deep with Frank Gaming right now. So it's hard at the current moment. With that said, we won't have a Vloggin' On vlog for you guys this month. But with that said, there is promising news with it. We have very exciting plans and ideas for episodes that will be filmed throughout the rest of the year, basically. And hopefully, besides this month, we will have an episode per month for you guys with that. And really, the only other thing is, like, I don't want to release garbage. Like, I don't want to just have a vlog out of me just talking and doing nothing. Like, I mean, basically, that's what the podcast is for. You know what I'm saying? So, I want to make them different. I don't want to release garbage. So, that's yeah. Also, speaking of Vloggin' On, we're going to do a behind-the-scenes video of Frank Gaming Season 5 for the Vloggin' On series, which will be nice. It'll be a nice little documentary making of video of the season, which will be cool, and I'm very excited for. All right. Here's something that isn't really in the works right now, but I'm going to bring it up anyways. Frank Adventures Season 3. The first season, we went to Africa. The second season, we did the weird New Jersey traveling. There's definitely going to be a Season 3. If you noticed in the YouTube channel trailer that's on my dashboard right now, you'll notice that's one of the projects that wasn't shown as like upcoming projects of the year, and that's because we're not releasing a Frank Adventures Season 3 this year. But the thing with that is that's also another very important series for me that I want to take my time on and make great. And really, it's all about the planning stages right now of where I would want to go next to document, and nothing's official yet. And not much has been planned yet for it, but the idea would be to go to Japan and film a whole little docu-travel series of that. I think that would be fucking awesome. So, I mean, that's the plan right now. Things may change. It also might not come out for a while, but that's the idea for it anyway. And then lastly, as far as the YouTube channel updates, are other unannounced projects and series. So really, I want to expand the channel with different people and different shows and different podcasts, like somewhat soon. I almost want Frank videos to become like this discount Barstool Sports, where it has all these different shows and podcasts and everything like that. And believe me, I've been in the works. I've been contacting plenty of people that are friends of the pod. They've been on the pod, and a good amount of them are interested in doing their own show or podcast on this channel. But nothing's concrete yet. But I just wanted to give you that little tidbit that things may be expanding here. It may not just be me anymore. You know what I'm saying there? I think there will be a whole team involved with this channel, which is very exciting, very cool. It's something I've always wanted, so there's that. All right, we're going to move on to what you guys might consider more interesting of what I got to talk about, and that's the news roundup. I have 4 different things as far as movie and TV news that have just happened to come out this week in articles that I'm interested in. So first off, we got Bad Boys Ride or Die. That's the new Will Smith and Martin Lawrence film in the Bad Boys franchise. This will be Bad Boys 4, actually. I watched the trailer today. I didn't do a reaction to it, but I watched the trailer today. Before I get into what I thought about the trailer, let's talk about this. Let's talk about, is it finally time for Will Smith to reemerge from the shadows after his infamous Oscars slap to Chris Rock? And by the way, this isn't his first film he released after that slap. He had that film, Emancipation, I believe it was called. But it didn't get the biggest promotion. And I don't remember how well it did at the box office or the critic reception. But I know for a fact it probably didn't do too great at the box office, honestly, because of its lack of promotion of the film. Could that have been affected because it was way too soon that it came out after the slap? Maybe. But who knows? The real question is it time? Are people going to accept Will Smith back on the big screen in really his first big blockbuster film back into the movies after the slap? My opinion on it, yeah, I think so. The slap was a bigger deal than it was made out to be, in my opinion. But at the same time, I'm not saying it was right by any means. I don't think it should have happened at all. It was very unprofessional. Even more unprofessional that you're one of the biggest movie stars that everyone knows, and you live broadcasted violence on one of those big TV events that happens every year. A lot of people were mad at him, especially his peers in the Hollywood industry. You know, they thought that he was giving their group of people, their culture and industry, a bad rap. I'll tell you first and foremost, your industry had a very bad rap, before that slap even happened, but that's my 2 cents. But he definitely didn't make it any better. I think it's time for him to come back. It's been, 2 years now since that happened? Maybe even 3? I'm bad with time. I think it's more 2 years ago that slap happened. I know he came out with his public apology. He made a video and he put it up on YouTube about it. It really wasn't that satisfying either. He really didn't. I mean, he did apologize, but he didn't really explain the background and backstory of that build-up that led him to do that slap, which is also understandable. I mean, no one deserves to know your personal business besides yourself. But it's also tricky and hard when you're in a career like that. People want to know. They will make you accountable for not letting them know. So yeah, like I said, I think Will Smith should be good to go. Really, I think he's fine now. I really do think he's fine. Not that people forgot about it, but I think people have gotten over it, the slap. And he's ready to go back into big blockbuster movies. Does that mean that studios are going to let him still? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? I mean, whoever produced Bad Boys was certainly like, yeah, let's do it, you know? But speaking of Bad Boys and speaking of this new trailer that came out today, I thought it was so entertaining. It looks really good. Really good in the fact that it just looks like a really fun time. I'm not expecting it to be amazing as far as story or anything like that. I'm sure there's going to be many cliche things that happen in the movie, but it looks very entertaining, and I love that duo. I saw the previous one in theaters, Bad Boys for Life, with a couple of buddies, and I loved it. I thought it was so much fun. I really, since they've come back with that franchise, they haven't skipped a beat, I don't think. And I hope it's the same for this one. I'll definitely see it in the theaters, this one, just off the trailer. The trailer was very good. It was very entertaining. But, yeah, that topic was more just Bad Boys and the Will Smith slap. I gave you my 2 cents on both of those. All right, next up. All right, here's one. The Oscars. Now, I know the Oscars were a couple weeks ago now, but I never gave a review on the Oscars. I was thinking of making a short little Instagram story of my thoughts of the Oscars presentation, almost immediately after it ended. But I didn't for some reason, so I'll explain it here now. So, a little background. I haven't watched a Oscars ceremony, or any award ceremony for that matter, in maybe over 5 years, until this Oscars 2024. I enjoyed the show. I enjoyed it. The reasons for why I haven't watched one in a while is because they started to piss me off. They also started to get really boring. Why did they piss me off? These speeches, man. These speeches and monologues and everything like that. Some of it just gets way too political, and as far as the boring factor, it's just the same shit every year. They really and this is for all award shows, not even just the Oscars. They don't do anything different now. I remember when that shit used to be exciting in the beginning of the ceremony, where you have Hugh Jackman doing an opening skit or a opening musical number. You don't see that anymore. Well, what the fuck? I loved that shit. It made it more exciting. It set the tone for the rest of the show. You had Jimmy Kimmel hosting this year, which I'm pretty sure he hosted the last, including this one that just happened. I think he hosted the last 3 Oscars, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. You guys could let me know. But he didn't do that bad of a job either. Jimmy Kimmel is someone I used to like early on, and then everything he says in his talk show, man, it's just all political. And I don't care what side he talks about. It's just all political topics, and he's giving his opinion on it like anyone gives a fuck. And it's just annoying, and I stopped watching him. As far as this Oscars presentation, he did decently well, I'll say that. I didn't think he was that funny, but the most important thing with his monologue and the rest of his presentation throughout it as a host was that he wasn't going to bring up anything political, which he did an amazing job doing, or not doing per se. He didn't bring up anything political throughout the whole show until the very end. And I'm not too mad at him for doing it, because a certain somebody started the fight, and Jimmy had to end it, basically. But I thought he did a decent job this time around. The whole show in general was great. I mean, the main reason why I watched this ceremony was because I am a huge fan of Oppenheimer. And I just wanted to see Oppenheimer win. I wanted to see the movie sweep the floor. And it did. It did. It swept the floor pretty heavily. I mean, but then you also had some other heavy hitters that got some awards too, like I was about to say La La Land, Poor Things, and Godzilla -1. The Boy and the Heron. Yeah, movies like that. And also another thing I want to say, the musical numbers were very entertaining. Like I wasn't the biggest fan of the Barbie movie, but let me tell you something. One of the most entertaining things of that show was Ryan Gosling live performing I'm Just Ken. That was phenomenal, I thought. Other highlights of it, when Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito came out and called out Michael Keaton as being Batman and kicking their ass. That was a good, funny segment of the presentation. But there is a fault in that presentation because, if you guys recall, Arnold Schwarzenegger was in the Val Kilmer. No, wait, I'm wrong. Arnold Schwarzenegger was in the George Clooney Batman movie, Batman and Robin. Not any Michael Keaton Batman movie. But, you look past that. That little bit was hilarious by both Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger. And Michael Keaton played it off great, too, in the seats. They put the camera on him when they were calling him out. That was amazing. John Cena. This was another highlight. John Cena comes out butt naked onto the stage with the announcer card, the winner card, covering his privates, and ironically, he was announcing the winner for Best Costume Design or something of that nature, and that was just perfect too. They did something similar as a joke with costumes and makeup and whatnot, as far as Ben Stiller came out as one of the blue avatars, and he was announcing costume design or like makeup design or whatever. That was like, that shit, I eat that shit up. That shit's great. And the show was not that long, which was great. It flew by, in my opinion. It was good. This makes me want to watch it every year again. But also, it depends on what movies come out this year. And if I see those movies and I really like them, then I'll definitely watch them. Like, don't get me wrong, I haven't fully not paid attention to the Oscars throughout the years. Like, I'm obviously interested on the results. I look up the results the next morning of who won and who didn't and the nominations and everything like that. But I don't watch the actual ceremony. Did this year. I liked it. I surprisingly liked it more than I thought I would. Next year, I might watch it again. All right, that's my Oscars show review. All right, 2 more left. This one I am very passionate about. Very, very passionate about. So, the new Pirates of the Caribbean movie is now officially confirmed to be a reboot. And this was confirmed by Jerry Bruckheimer, who is a legendary producer of the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. He produced every one. He might have even directed one of the past Pirates movies. I'm not too sure about that. But he had heavy involvement on the Pirates movies back in the day. And, it's almost like they were rumors, but I guess they weren't at this point now that a new Pirates movie was coming. And in those rumors, it was always, is Johnny Depp coming back? I could give 2 shits less if Will Turner came back. I could give 2 shits less if Elizabeth Swann came back. As much as I like Captain Barbossa, I could also give 2 shits less if Captain Barbossa returned, if Captain Jack Sparrow didn't fucking return. So now it's official. This is going to be a reboot. Why the fuck are you making this movie? Why are you rebooting it? I know the fucking answer. You want to make money. I think there is money still to be made with this franchise. But why are you doing it? In your heart, why are you doing it? The greed? Yes. The money. In your heart? I'll tell you one thing. They better shut me up right now when this movie comes out. Because if it's really good, I'll eat up my words. But if you're not having Johnny Depp involved, there's a big problem. And for people that don't even follow movie news like I do and many of you guys do, and don't even know that a new Pirates movie is happening, and then you go to the movies one day and you see this new Pirates of the Caribbean trailer, and Johnny Depp is nowhere to be found, just you wait. You'll hear the uproar. People are going to be pissed. People are going to be pissed. I'm already pissed. Except I won't be as pissed when the trailer comes out, because I already knew this was happening 2 years before. Really, who knows if this movie is actually going to happen? This new apparent movie was supposed to come out. Well, not come out. It's been in the works for a while. And I think they can't make up their mind of what they want to do. It seems like a train wreck has already been made before it even started filming, to be honest with you. I may be skeptical. I may be one-sided just because Johnny Depp's not involved, and it's not that I hope the movie fails. I honestly do hope it's very good. But, I mean, I don't know. You don't have Johnny Depp. There was a rumor a little while ago that Margot Robbie was going to be the lead of this new Pirates movie. And I don't even know if they decided if it was going to be a reboot or a continuation of the series. I just knew that Margot Robbie, like a character was being written in the script for Margot. And I think I would have dug it. I mean, like, duh, right? Like, anything Margot's in, like, she doesn't even have to be. She is very talented, but she doesn't even have to be that talented. She just needs to be on screen, and it's like, yeah, I'm in. What pains me the most, probably, say this new movie really comes into fruition, and it comes out, and even if it's amazing, it'll still pain me that the newer generations that haven't seen a single original Pirates of the Caribbean movie see this new Pirates movie and is like, wow, like they are changing the game right now. Like this is nothing I've ever seen before. Like, oh, this is it. This is going to become a hit classic. Guess what, younger generation? Guess what, motherfuckers? There were movies like that already. It's called Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, Pirates of the Caribbean, At World's End. And fuck it, even 4 and 5 were good. I fucking loved them. Why did I love them? Johnny Depp. You know? So, whatever. One other thing that, I am glad that Jerry Bruckheimer is involved with it. One of the original producers is back for this reboot. That is a good sign. An even better sign, and I don't know if he's attached to this specific one that they're calling a reboot, but Craig Mazin is apparently a writer on a Pirates movie. I don't know if it's this one. I don't know if it's another one they're doing. Whatever. Craig Mazin is apparently involved. If you don't know Craig Mazin, he's a incredible script writer who he wrote The Last of Us, and I think he directed some episodes of The Last of Us for HBO, and that's one of my all-time favorite shows now. Of all time. The Last of Us is fucking amazing. And Craig Mazin wrote it. I think he got his start with another very good HBO like mini series. What the fuck was it called? I think it starts with a P or something like that. I wish this was live so like a chat could tell me what the fuck what it's called. Oh, wait a minute. It's coming to me. I never watched it, by the way. His breakout thing. Whatever. I'm not going to waste time on it. He had another HBO miniseries that put him on the map, which was very good. Chernobyl. That's what it was. Chernobyl. He started with Chernobyl, got amazing reviews off that, great reception off that. started getting more work very quickly and getting his name out there very quickly. Jumped to The Last of Us. That first season was fucking amazing. And now he's working on a Pirates movie, apparently. So, at the end of the day, long story short, even though I said the whole story, him on a Pirates of the Caribbean project would be pretty cool. And that does give me hope for it. But imagine a Craig Mazin-written Pirates movie with Johnny Depp, though. Come on. Speaking of Craig Mazin, this is our fourth, final, and very short topic. Like I said, Craig Mazin wrote the first season of The Last of Us. He also wrote season 2 of The Last of Us, which brings me up to this last topic. Pedro Pascal reportedly finished filming for The Last of Us season 2. Filming and production began in February of 2024. Uh-oh. That's all I got to say to that. That's all I'll say to that. If you know, you know. That's it. All right. That's gonna do it for this episode. My voice seems like it feels like it's shot right now because I was talking alone the whole time and nonstop talking. But yeah, that's gonna do it for us for this episode. Listen, guys, we'll have an actual original, traditional Loggin On episode for you guys 2 weeks ahead of time when this comes out. But if you like this episode, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Also, follow us on all social media platforms at Frank_videos. And you can also listen to this podcast audio-only version on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Music. And, yeah, we'll see you next time. But until then, peace out. This one is the Belhaven Brewery Scottish Ale. We are going to go through some fun facts here. This is from Belhaven Brewery, like I said before, from Belhaven, Scotland. So we're trying a Scotland beer right now. This bitter beer is best paired with tangy style cheeses, such as brick and feta. Cheers.
Cheers. It smelled bitter.
Yeah. I'm actually not, I wasn't, right off the bat before I take a second sip, like, I wouldn't call it like, actually, yeah, kind of the aftertaste. Like, I'm kind of tasting a cigar right now.
I was saying smoky in my head.
Yeah.
Like, it's got like a smoky aftertaste.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Like, I'm drinking this next to my campfire.
Yeah.
And I got a piece of, like, kindling in my cup.
And it's not going away.
Mm-mm.